We ready?
I'm sorry, not yet, hold on. Just a minute, let YouTube.
You can't just start these.
I know, it's like, put on pause.
Okay, we're ready now.
All right, Mayor, you still on? I guess.
Yes, sir, I am. Take it away.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. I called a special meeting of the Village of Ruidoso Council to order. If you would join me with the moment of silence and the Pledge of Allegiance and the salute to the flag, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I salute the flag of the state of New Mexico, the Zia symbol of perfect friendship among united cultures. Thank you. Mr. Sena, can we have a roll call, please?
Mayor Crawford,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Salas,
Here?
Councilor Lutterman,
Here.
Councilor Eby,
Here.
Councilor Cornelius,
Here.
Councilor Coughlin,
Here.
Councilor Jackson.
Here.
We have a quorum. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The first item on the agenda is discussion and possible action on new appointments to the Planning Commission. And here the mayor has presented two gentlemen who are here this morning. Thank you for attending. We have first returning back to the community, I'll say, Rick Braw, and then also Mr. Darren Hooker. Anybody have any questions or wanna? I will say Rick served on Parks and Rec Committee, decades ago, or something like that, which he's a familiar face to me and stuff, and he's been with the community for a long time before, so I'm really happy he's back. Of course, we know Mr. Hooker very well, and I'm glad he's here and continue serving our community. So I think it's an excuse to get away from those honeydew lists, isn't it?
Yeah.
So,
They're going to look pretty good.
anybody else? I'll entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman, move to approve the slate for those planning and commission appointments as presented.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call vote, please.
Councilor Jackson,
Aye.
Councilor Lutterman,
Aye.
Councilor Eby,
Aye.
Councilor Cornelius,
Aye.
Councilor Coughlin,
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Salas.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you
Mayor
very
Pro Tem,
much.
if I may,
Yes.
I just want to make a statement that I would like to thank both these individuals for coming on to the Planning and Zoning Board. And, Mr. Baugh, I understand that you have extensive knowledge of working in the private industry. And I believe, as the mayor vetted the applications, that's one of the strengths that, we want to make sure that we have strong community, business-minded people that we're adding to that. So we have a diverse board. And Chief, welcome back. And, no disrespect, Chief Chavez, but we always call former chiefs chiefs. I do. But, it's nice to see the chief coming back and working with us. And he certainly understands the enforcement side of it. So I just want to welcome both of you on board. Samantha is right behind you, Mr. Baugh, and Chief, as you know, Samantha, and she's going to be putting together a training for you all and working with you to work with your schedules to get that done so we can get you up to speed on our processes and the different applications that you may see coming forward. So once again, I appreciate you all.
Thank you, Tim. I was about to say something. Now we have a complete 7-member board, correct? Is that finally back to there? Good. That's really good. And again, gentlemen, thank you very much for your service.
Thank you.
Okay, going on to item number 2, discussion and possible action on adoption of resolution 2021-50 a resolution authorizing and approving submission of a complete application for financial assistance and project approval to the New Mexico Finance Authority.
Mayor Pro Tem, councilors, this is a resolution, as you know, we had already went through funding with NMFA for the magistrate court. However, when AOC, Administrative Office of the Courts, changed the architect and they actually finished design of the building, of course, the project costs increased. So our original application that was filed in August 2020 had an estimated cost of $6 million, but with all the changes that have occurred with design, it actually ended up being $7.7 million. As you know, the last application, the loan was sold at a premium. So even though we netted about $6 million, our loan was only at 5.3. This will be the same situation with this new application. Our loan amount will only go from 5.3 million to 6.2, which is about a $940,000 increase. And as you know, this loan is pledged by the revenues from the lease agreement with the AOC to us. So I believe that amounted to about 50,000 more a year is what they had figured.
Mayor Pro Tem, right now, we're still working on the pricing, which will, this application goes in with estimated numbers. And once the Finance Authority, completes the application process to be submitted to their board, they do go through a process of what they call pricing. That's when they establish what the rates and everything else are going to be and the amount of debt service needed. The additional debt service is estimated to be approximately $50,000 a year added to, and our intent is to actually in the November meeting, if they get us the information at the time, we should have an amended lease agreement that reflects that amount. So before we finalize and accept the Finance Authority's funding, we will have the lease agreement in place to make sure that the Village of Ruidoso does have the authority to move forward on that debt.
And we will, excuse me, and we will come back with you with the final numbers so that you'll know everything that comes in. The applications are going in with Belen and Lovington also, and they will be on the NMFA board's November meeting.
Okay.
Mayor Pro Tem, just to be clear, right now, 100% plans have been submitted. We are still working, and Councilor Coughlin's been working with Eric, and we've been looking at the drainage so that we make sure that there's no additional impact. We're also looking at that property to see if there's other opportunities for us to reduce the flooding impacts that existed in that area. And those are the final two pieces. We have an internal review that we're looking over the 100% plans tomorrow at 1:00. If anybody's interested in attending, we haven't publicized it, so we can't have a quorum.
Right.
But if anybody's interested in coming in, we are doing a review at that time. Just contact us if you'd like to do a review. But the Finance Authority, the AOC, Administrative Office of the Courts, next step is to go out for pricing with the contractors. And once they get the solid pricing on the construction, we'll bring that back to the council for approval.
Okay.
So that meeting tomorrow, is at 1 or 1:30?
Ron?
It's at 1:30.
Okay. I thought we had initially talked about 1, but my mistake, it's 1:30.
Okay, I just didn't want to show up late.
Okay,
Or early.
Well, I'd rather be early than late.
Mayor
ahead,
Pro Tem.
Susan.
Okay, so we pay on the loan, but they pay us back.
That's
So-
correct.
Yeah. There's just some negative talk in town, and, they can't believe that we are buying this for the courts. And so
So we will have a lease agreement with the courts to occupy the building. In addition, they will be paying additional funding towards the maintenance and towards utilities.
Yeah.
And it's all included in the loan, in the lease agreement.
Mayor Pro Tem, Councilor, and what I can do is I can put out I'm working on the newsletter. I'll clarify that.
Okay,
What's occurring is that we're using the debt capacity that's built as a result of our lease agreement with AOC. So we're just the intermediary to build it, because according to statute, it's my understanding that AOC cannot own properties.
right.
So we are working with AOC, and we're going to be the owners of it, but they are paying us for that.
And because we're using those lease payments to pledge for the payments on the loan, it really doesn't affect our overall debt capacity, correct?
It increases our debt capacity.
Well, it increases to allow us to do this, but regardless of all of our other projects, it doesn't affect that capacity.
No.
Right,
And
so
it's not tied to any other revenue streams.
Yeah.
It's strictly the revenues that are derived from the lease agreement.
So basically what it is, we're just getting the loan, but they're making all the payments through us.
Right.
And then I believe, is it after 20 or 30 years, and that property reverts over to the village?
That's correct.
Right, so, I mean, it's a win-win for the community
Yeah.
and also for the village.
It
Exactly.
doesn't actually revert to us, we own it all the time.
Well, we own
Yeah.
it, but their lease is over.
Yeah, but they'll have it
Pretty
paid
much
for
like
by then.
Presbyterians deal with the county.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think it would be good to maybe clarify.
That would be good. And someone asked me last night the square footage, and I couldn't remember that. I thought it was like 30 or something like that.
Well, it's not that big, I don't think. I don't,
You better go to the meeting.
I better. If it's there and, because they were trying to figure out square footage for on this, but I said, but this is also including all the infrastructure, the excavation, removal, and part of the parking lot, I believe, that we're adding to them.
Site development, yes, is
Site
also included.
development and stuff there, but anyway.
let me see if,
We can get you a square footage number, Counselor, and cost per square foot as well.
Right.
We'll get
Because
that
that's what they
information
were
to you.
asking pretty much, since
I don't-
it was going up.
Yeah, I don't remember that number off the top of my head, but, price for the construction, that's part of the cost is everybody talks about the COVID impacts and the supply and whatnot. All those things have affected the project as well as the design.
Right.
Well, they better start ordering stuff. They told me yesterday that windows I need are on a 6-month delivery now.
Oh, man.
It's just silly. And there's not a computer chip to be found in them.
One of these days, I'll tell you a story about a Campbell noodle soup shortage. Or or was it cream of chicken?
Cream and chicken.
Thank you.
so looking at what I have on the computer, it says the proposed courthouse building is 11,120 square feet.
There you go.
And the finished floor elevation is 6,518 and 3/4 feet.
Thank you, Tim.
Mayor,
Yes, sir.
Tim, this price we're talking about, is that furnished or the courts are going to have to do that on top themselves?
Counselor, Mayor Pro Tem Counselor, I believe that there is an allowance for furnishing
Okay.
that's built into this price. Furniture, fixtures, and equipment.
Good. Because we don't want to come back at the beginning of the year and refunding and asking for more money for.
We have some used furniture that we.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give them some
Sell 'em.
folding chairs.
Do you need a motion?
Yes, I'll entertain the motion.
I move that we accept the adoption of Resolution 2021-50, a resolution authorizing and approving submission of a completed application for financial assistance and project approval to the New Mexico Finance Authority.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any other further discussion? No? Roll call, please, Mr. Sena.
Counselor Letterman,
Aye.
Counselor Cornelius,
Aye.
Counselor Coughlin,
Aye.
Counselor Jackson,
Aye.
Counselor Eby,
Aye.
Mayor Pro Tem Salas.
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mayor Pro Tem, Mayor.
Yes, sir.
Thank you all.
Well, thank you, and that concludes our meeting. Did you have any statement, Mayor, or?
No, I just appreciate y'all taking care of that. I thought y'all were going to beat that dead horse again, and I'm glad you got that passed. So anyway, y'all have a great day, and Ron, I'll get that stuff signed for you whenever you need.
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
And I really appreciate Hooker coming back out of the mothballs and getting back involved in, of course, y'all are going to get to know Rick Ball pretty well, and I think we're going to have a really good planning and zoning board, and we're looking forward to the workforce housing that's getting ready to hit the, the workforce and everything that's going on. So I'm excited about it.
Yes. I had questions on those last night too, on the workforce housing. And I wanted to get a copy of the letter that Mesa sent out, because they received a letter from Mesa and just kind of wondering, is there a plan or anything there? And I said, I haven't seen the letter, so.
Mayor Pro Tem, maybe you and I can visit on that, and any councilors that have questions, we can visit on the approach,
Okay,
how it's, the procedures that we're going to be going through.
okay.
That can provide clarification to you all.
There's not a plan yet, is there?
No, I don't know. There was confusion. They were thinking it was Chelsea just moving the project from Midtown to over here, the same, 3-story buildings. I said, no, it's a totally different company. And they didn't know that.
It's now 5 stories.
Yeah. I was telling them we needed 10 stories, but it's like,
There's a couple of things I need to brief you on, Councilor Eby, on too, so if you have a few moments after this meeting.
okay, we do. Well, with no further business before this council, I'll adjourn this meeting. Thank you very much.
Yeah.